Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to crack the code on a Korean grammar pattern that you hear all the time but can be, a little bit confusing. We're talking about Tony. Let's jump right in.
Okay, so here's our main puzzle for today. 비가 오다니 갑자기 추워졌어. What in the world is that little 떠니 doing in the middle of that sentence? By the end of this, I promise you'll know exactly what it means and, more importantly, how to use it yourself. So first things first, what is 떠니? Well, at its very core, it's a connector. Think of it as linking something you personally saw in the past to a direct result or a change that's happening now. Yeah, so officially, we call it a connector. I like to think of it as a bridge. On one side of the bridge, you've got your past observation, something you yourself actually witnessed. And on the other side, that's the present result, the change that happened because of it. Okay, this right here is the absolute key to understanding this whole pattern. Seriously, if you remember just one thing, make it this. The speaker, that's you, personally witnessed it happen. This is not for something you've read about or heard from a friend. Nope. This is about your own direct, first-hand observation.
So how do we actually, build this thing and put it in a sentence? You might be thinking it's going to be complicated, but here's the good news. The formula is incredibly simple, for real. It's really just a simple two-step process. First, you take the stem of a verb or an adjective. So for 먹다, which is to eat, you just drop the da, and you're left with 먹. Second, you just attach 떠니 right onto it. That's it. 먹더니. It's the exact same for 춥다, to be cold. That just becomes 춥더니. So simple, right?
All right, now that we know how to build it, let's get into the two different vibes it can have. Because depending on the context, 더니 can show either a clear cause and effect relationship or a kind of surprising contrast. Let's look at these two flavors. So on the left, we have cause and effect. He ate a lot, and as a result, he got a belly. Pretty straightforward, right? One thing caused the other. But now look at the right. This one is about contrast. It was hot earlier, but now it's cold. The situation has completely flipped. The context of the sentence is what tells you which one it is. Okay, you're going to want to pay close attention to this next part. This is probably the most important section because we are going to cover the golden rule of 더니. This is the thing that's going to help you avoid the number one mistake pretty much every learner makes. So let's do a little pop quiz. Look at this sentence here. 내가 학교에 가더니 공부했어. Notice the subject is 내가, which means I. Does this sentence work? Think back to that key idea we talked about, the one about witnessing something. And the answer is a big, fat no. This sentence is actually incorrect. And it's because it breaks the single most important rule of using 더니. So here it is, the golden rule. 더니 is for observing other people or other things. You use it when you're talking about what your friend did or what the dog did or how the weather changed. You absolutely avoid using it to describe your own past actions. For that, you use a slightly different pattern, at/ut 더니. But hey, that's a topic for another day. All right, theory is great, but practice is really where this stuff starts to stick. So let's do a couple of quick drills together to really lock this pattern into your brain for good. Okay, situation number 1. You saw your friend exercising like a maniac, and now he looks totally fit. The verb is 운동하다, to exercise. So how would you start that sentence to connect the thing you saw with the result you're seeing now? You got it. 운동하더니. And to finish the whole thought, you'd say 운동하더니 몸이 좋아졌어. You saw him exercise, and now you see the result. That is a perfect use of the pattern. Let's try just one more. Imagine your computer starts making this really weird, awful noise, and then a second later, it just dies. The verb phrase is 소리가 나다, which means a sound occurs. How would you connect those two events? Exactly. 소리가 나더니 고장났어. You heard it make a noise, and as a direct result, it broke down. See? You're really starting to get the hang of this. This is how you start to think like a native speaker. So, at the end of the day, just remember this. 더니 is your special tool for connecting what you see to what happens next. It is all about being an observer. So with that in mind, my final question for you is, what's something you've personally seen change recently? Go ahead and try to make your very own 더니 sentence. Thanks so much for watching.